Hello. So today in this video, we're going to be talking about how to scale your window replacement company, right, in 2026. What I'm going to be walking you through is basically a lead generation funnel that we've used to generate over 2,000 leads in the last couple of months for our partners. My name is Tammy. I'm with Lead Phoenix AI, and we generate home improvement and window replacement leads. So I'm going to walk you through this funnel. I think it's going to be a real game changer, right? Because this is the future of generating home improvement leads, right? So yeah, let's get into it. Let's get right into it. So first of all, we generate our leads mostly on social media, so YouTube and Meta being Facebook and Instagram mostly, right? We see YouTube generating higher quality leads, but obviously not as much volume. Meta, on the other hand, more volume, maybe a little bit lower quality, but then you see how we're able to, filter out the bad leads on the other end. So basically, perfect combination of high quality, high volume at these two platforms, right? So what we do is we send them to a landing page with a quiz. So on that quiz, maybe in another video, I'll show you like an actual what the quiz looks like. But basically, it asks for three different things. Like, we want to find out their budget, BNT, budget, needs, and the timeline, right? So we start with the needs, right? We kind of ask them how many windows do they want to replace, right? So what is the problem they're facing? Is it damaged windows? Is it hurricane impact windows they want, or high energy bills? So we find out their pain point. Then we now ask for the budget. So the budget kind of ties in with how many windows they need replaced. Sometimes we might be able to even go direct and say, how much have you set aside for this project, type of thing, right? Then the last one is the timeline. So for the timeline, we kind of just ask them, basically, are you ready to start? When do you think you would like this done, right? In the next 1 to 2 months, 2 to 6 months, or further out into the future, right? So we have that. Then we tag them as a lead, and first thing that we do is obviously check what they've check their answers, right? So when they answer, if they are qualified, right? So basically, if they have the money, they really want to they don't want to just do one single pane, right? And they are ready to start, not maybe in 3 years from now. So we basically fire them off to our client, right? So either via API to our client CRM or their dialer, right? Sometimes you can actually install a CRM for our client, but most of our clients already have a proper sales process in place, right? And then so they're able to follow up within 5 minutes, speed to lead and all that, right? If they're not qualified, we send them to a nurture sequence. You see how that works in a second. All right. So when we've done that, so basically this is where most companies just stop, right? Fire the lead off and then hope for the best. But no, that's not where it ends. There's so much more work to be done to get you quality leads, right? So what we do is, first thing we do is set up like an email sequence, right? So we tag them as a new lead, send an introduction email, and then send a link to a calendar page where they can actually book an appointment to actually speak to our client, right? But if they may or may not be able to do that, right? But then what we do is, if they don't do it, we now send them a reminder email, but not just a reminder email, because a lot of companies kind of just send it that, oh, you haven't done this, please go do it, or you haven't done that, please go do it. No, we pair that in that same email. We have what we call value dense content. Yeah. And then, so actually, let me explain what the value dense content is before I move on, right? What we believe is an educated buyer is a better buyer any day, right? So we have like a series of information that we want the client to know, right? To actually improve, get them more educated, right? So that they can actually be a better lead, right? So we have between 20 to 30 sometimes, right? Series of information, series of educational videos and emails that we actually send to the client over time, right? So things like what kind of videos are best, right? So low E glass, you explain what low E glass is. Send them testimonials, right? So we actually partner with our clients to get testimonial pictures, videos, create a story out of that. Like talk about the story, what the person went through, right? Who pulls the permits. This actually does really well, like a installation time lapse. This kind of videos go viral on social media, so the clients love watching that. Or we have like a local. So basically, if our clients are in South Florida, right, we can show them, basically what a Palm Beach home looked like before and after, right? So all this, we create all this content, right? We take that extra step to create all this content, and then we send them videos, right? So we have video versions of this. We have text versions. We have emails. We have blog posts. So we have like a huge world or map of content that actually educates the client. And then I'm going to show you how we're going to use all this going forward. So the first place that we're using that is, back in the email nurture sequence, right? So we wait, send the validates content, wait 1 day, send the second one, wait 1 day, send the third one, and we keep on going until we have probably 7 or 8 days, right? And then what we see is that we actually have over 50% email open rates on these emails, right? And why is that? Because we're not just sending random sales messages. No, we're actually sending content that nurtures the client. They're actually looking forward to seeing what we're actually talking about, right? So we do keep on doing that for like, at least a week. Probably this could have gone on till day 7. And then if they don't respond, then we get them into what we call the forever follow-up sequence. In another video, I'm going to explain what the forever follow-up sequence is. But basically, we have an AI agent that creates emails, that sends these emails every day. Not every day, every week, once a week, sometimes twice a week, like until they unsubscribe. As long as they're interested in the emails, in receiving the emails, this keeps on getting sent. So we have that. So that's the first part. That's the email setup. So what we also do is put them into like this workflow here, right? So what we have is like an AI agent that actually is able to text back and forth. So if you see on the quiz, some people might not have completed the quiz. They may not have, but we have their contact details, right? So what we do is we actually send an SMS and ask them, okay, yeah, we see that you started the form. Are you still interested in replacing your windows, for example, right? Then we wait 4 minutes. If they haven't responded, then we just kind of, ping them again. But if they do respond, then the AI agent kicks in, right, and starts basically qualifying them. Oh, that's great. Tell us about what you'd like to have done, right? They respond, the AI responds, they respond, the AI goes back and forth. I'm gonna, like, in another video, I'll show you like an actual chat, flow between the AI and the homeowner. Like most of them don't actually know they're actually chatting with AI because it's very, very just like natural language that we use, right? So what the AI actually goes through the same BNT questions, right? Trying to like find out more about their budgets, the needs and the timeline. And if they are qualified, we can automatically check that. That is also automated. The lead ends up being fired off to the client, together with the chat history, like basically the chat template that has been, basically the conversation. That's what I'm looking for. The conversation that has been going on between the AI and the client gets sent so that they have some context on what to do, on what to say when they actually call the client, right? So that's that. And then if they don't respond to the AI, we also have optionally, this doesn't happen every time, right? We have like an AI agent that actually calls the lead, right, and then follows up with a call every 5 days. But most of our clients have like a pretty dialed in sales process, right? So we don't always implement that, but then if it's needed, we can always get that also set up as well too, right? Okay, so that's the first step, right? So now so remember when I was telling you about the validate content, so we don't stop there. So we also have, so we're doing the follow-up by email and by a text, right? But there are some people that are still on those platforms that haven't signed up. They may have been interested, but then just didn't sign up at that point. So what we do is we have a lead nurture and education flow for that, right? So we run a lot of videos. Actually, most of the time, what we run is mostly videos, right? So because I always say this, right? An educated buyer is a better buyer. A lot of people engage with videos now on social media, right? So we kind of track, with the retargeting, people that watch 25%, 50%, 75%. But the people that have watched 95% of a 60-second video, right? They've watched it for 1 minute. They were there for a reason, right? The people that actually visited the site in the last 30 days, right? Also were there for a reason. So these people will add them into like a retargeting flow. And what do? We send them what we call our propaganda content. It's ethical propaganda, right? So again, imagine a series or a pack of 30 videos, right? 30, 20, 35 sometimes videos. But they are seeing those videos twice a day, 2 times a day, 2 videos every day for the next month, right? We can easily have like a huge, pool of people that we can influence, right? In that way. And what are we sending them? We're sending them this value dense content in video format, right? So by the time this guy has seen 10, 15 videos, he's received 2 emails. When our client is calling them, they are not a stranger anymore. They're like, wow, we get this a lot. People say, oh, wow, we've actually seen your videos multiple times, right? Oh, that's actually nice. So they're actually looking forward to the call. They're actually expecting the call, right? So we're not getting you not just 1 foot in the door. We are basically, you have already 2 feet in the door already in this case, right? So we do that, retargeting. And then also optionally, what we also want to help our clients with is to reduce cancellation rates. So we have sometimes some clients that have actually booked a demo, like basically, to go measure the windows. So sometimes some clients cancel, but again, we can take that same value dense education flow into the booking sequence as well too. So what we do is we set up like a call, booked call email sequence, right? So we remove the new lead from that sequence. Then we send them like, oh, this is how we work. We send them testimonials, send them emails. It's all value dense emails, by the way. Send them 1 email until the day of the appointment, right? And then what we also do is add them to like a reminder where we actually, send them booking confirmation reminders and SMSs just before. And then what is also very important is we also give them the option to reschedule, because life happens. People just don't have time to do whatever it is that to be there every time. But then we give them the option to reschedule before the client actually visits, right? And then if they don't show, we also, or they basically don't, they want to cancel, we can also give them more information about, what they're missing, right? So this is the complete funnel. This funnel has generated thousands of leads, right, for our partners. And it's something that, again, I know that it's relatively, it looks complex, but to be honest, if you have someone that can work with a CRM that's automations, this is relatively simple to set up. But obviously, if you need help setting this up for your window replacement company, so we can also help you generate leads as well too. There's going to be a link in the description. Feel free to book a call, and then we'd love to talk to you, and then we'd love to help you generate leads as well too. So, but in the end, I hope this video has been really helpful. If you want to scale your company, please go ahead, and if you do, reach out to us, and then let us know how this helped you as well. All right, see you in the next video.